And then I was getting more and more and more students, and my teaching schedule was actually getting jammed full. And so I actually stopped advertising for a while because I was jammed full. But then I was like, well, how do I make more money? So
I think this is what everyone's excited for. Like a lot of us have that problem, right? You get started with a good number of students, and you were able to start with a good salary, right? Or you were charging, I think you mentioned like $50 an hour for some of those students you started with.
yeah.
But once you get to say 15, 20 students a week, there's a limit you physically have of time in the day, plus all the other admin work involved.
That was
so
it.
how have you scaled beyond that? What did you do?
Yeah, and even time zones, like there's only a few hours with,
Mm-hmm.
the Chinese market that they're learning with. Okay, so the thing that I figured out, and I think this is the thing that I've figured out, and I've seen a lot of people haven't figured out, is group classes. Group classes. Guys, this is my secret sauce. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that I'm making $5,000 a month or more, but I teach group classes. So I don't limit like my time and my earnings based on my time, because otherwise you've only got so many hours in the week to teach. There's only so many hours that the Chinese market are awake and wanting lessons. So if you're doing one-on-one, you can only ever earn a certain limited amount, and that's what happened to me is I hit a ceiling. But then when I realized, well, actually I don't want to turn students away, let me rather put them into groups, because they're all learning the same curriculum, they're the same level. And this is where I also really got the hang of my niche, because before as well with my niche, I was teaching some adults, I was teaching like phonics, I was teaching like for exams, and you can't group them together. So I discovered my niche was for preparing for the 11 plus exams and the PET exam. And so for me, then I started advertising on behalf of my niche, like, are you studying for this exam? And then I was able to find students who are on the same level, and I could group them together. And I started building like courses for them. And that's when I just exploded. That's when it was like, okay, I've got 4 kids, 5 kids. The biggest amount I've had is 20 kids in a class.
20 in the same class.
20.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
crazy. But in saying that, I did have some experience working with Bling ABC, and I taught 24 kids in a class with Bling ABC. And I was like, well, if they can do it as a company, I can do it as an independent teacher. So yeah, on Wednesday mornings is my big class, and I teach for the PET exams, and I use Reading Explorer for that. So yeah, it's been really fun. It's like a whole whirlwind going back over this.